Well, good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to this wonderful webinar that we're going to have today. I'm always excited on a Wednesday morning because this is a presentation that I do love to give. Why? Because this is an exciting business, eXp, and I am very, very privileged to be able to tell you about them today, explain the model of this company. It truly is something that is changing the real estate industry, not just in South Africa, but internationally. And I'll tell you a little bit of the story behind it. First of all, let me put my phone onto flight mode, as I will ask you to do as well for the duration of the webinar. And yeah, it's exciting to be able to tell you about this company. Before I do that, a quick introduction to myself if you don't know me. There's a few of you guys that are my personal guests today. And then there may be one or two of you who are a guest of someone else today. So if you don't know me, my name is Steve Johnstone. For 20 years now, I've been a real estate trainer, and my speciality has always been a lead generation, which is, I think, the most important thing you do in your business as an estate agent, and specifically how to work by referral. That's always been my speciality. I currently run a mentorship program with about 800 agents called Going Virtual in Real Estate. We've been on a journey together for the last 7 or 8 months now. It's been amazing. And it's been during that time that I have made a transition myself into working with this company, eXp. So the background to eXp is that it was actually about a year ago now that I was approached by an ex-client of mine in Canada asking me to take a look at a real estate company that would be launching into South Africa later in the year. As it turns out, they launched here in, I think officially in about December, so it's only about 2 months old in South Africa, still brand new. I had never heard of this company, eXp, at the time, and now as I've learned, they're a US-based real estate business. They were about 10 years old at the time I was approached, but you know, I do get approached a little bit by companies wanting me to promote their stuff and you know, promote their software or their MLS system or whatever. And I'm normally quite conservative with getting involved, and I decline those requests most times. But in this case, something that I heard about this company intrigued me. Something about its technology and how this was a complete market shift, a paradigm shift in the real estate industry. And then what particularly got my attention was how that translated into how they compensated their agents differently. And so I started doing some homework into this business. And the more I found out about them, the more I actually fell in love with this company. And I've been amazed by what they have achieved. They are the fastest growing real estate business in history. They have smashed every record set by their predecessors, Remax and then Keller Williams. And particularly over the last 6 or 7 years, they have experienced unprecedented growth. So 7 years or so ago, they had about 500 agents. And that number is now up to, I think the latest count is 43,000, and it's growing by like 1,000 a week now. It's like eXp have hit this tipping point, and they are just growing unbelievably rapidly. And they are expanding around the world. So a couple of years ago, they expanded to Canada, the UK, and Australia. And at the end of last year, they opened 5 more countries, and South Africa was one of those. And then in the first quarter of this year, they've opened 4 more countries, and then another 5 in the next quarter of 2021. It's like these guys are taking over the world of real estate. And the reason they are growing so fast is that they own a piece of technology called Verbella. They own it 100%, that enables them to be far more profitable than any other real estate business. And that then in turn allows them to compensate their agents in a far more lucrative way. Now, I'm going to show you what that technology looks like. I'm going to explain it all to you today. And as I explain their model to you, you're going to see that this is a complete market disruptor. This is not just a new real estate business. It is like the Uber of real estate, or Airbnb of the real estate industry. It is a complete paradigm shift, and this is the reason it's growing so fast, is because I don't think the traditional models of real estate can compete with it. So eXp was founded in 2009 by a tech genius named Glenn Sanford. He built a $60 million real estate business himself, working as an agent. He was with Keller Williams at the time, but he did it in a completely different way because he's kind of a geeky kind of tech guy. He was connecting with all of his clients online. Now, remember, this was 2009. That's 1 year after the first iPhone was launched. Do you remember that first iPhone, like a round back? And so in technology timeline, that's an age ago. There was no such thing as Zoom. You couldn't have a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet, or there were certainly no webinars like this kind of meeting in 2009. And so Glenn Sanford was quite ahead of his time when he believed that the traditional brick and mortar model of real estate, where we have head offices, franchise offices, and then offices on the corner of every street, and we need like public presence on street corners and signage and all of that, which is an incredibly expensive model, the brick and mortar model. He believed that it was unnecessary. In fact, that a multi-office, even national real estate company could, in fact, operate perfectly well with all of its offices and its administrative staff in the cloud. And Glenn Sanford believed that the massive cost saving that would then represent to the company should be passed back to the agents themselves. So as an agent, he believed that a real estate company should be owned by the agents. They should be the shareholders of the company, and they should be compensated not just for the transactions that they do as they work as agents, but they should be compensated for building the company based on their level of contribution. So eXp today has over 600 full-time employees who work in an avatar world with offices in it and training facilities and boardrooms and informal meeting areas. You can even go into this avatar world and you can play a game of soccer with other eXp agents on the soccer field in eXp world. It's incredible. Now, that might sound like it's a bit way out there. It's a bit like a TV game, but this is what is changing the world of real estate. This cloud-based campus where you create a little avatar when you join eXp and you get to walk into this world and attend training, have meetings, and get all of the administrative support that you need in this world. And lest you think that that's kind of gimmicky, just let's get back to what this does for this company. Think about it this way. This company's got 43,000 agents, 600 full-time employees, more than that actually. They operate in 13 countries and counting. They've got a market cap of $7 billion US. Actually, that's risen in the last week to about $9 billion US. They've got one of the fastest growing shares on the Nasdaq stock exchange, having listed a couple of years ago. And all of that, and think about this, they don't own one office. So do you know how profitable that makes them as a company when compared to the traditional brick and mortar model of real estate? Now, what's important about all that to you? You're an estate agent, you're in South Africa, maybe you are a franchise owner or a principal of a team. You know, what has all that got to do with you? How does that benefit you? Well, the point of the matter is that the profitability of this company, eXp, makes it possible, because they are an agent-owned, agent-centric business, to compensate you far better for what you do at the moment. For the stuff you're doing anyway, you will get compensated far better through eXp. And I hope to be able to demonstrate that fact to you today. Before we get into a little video I'm going to play you, by a guy called Brent Gove, who's going to explain the eXp model to us. Just 3 points I want to make. So I have been telling you a little bit about eXp South Africa. First point I want to encourage you to do is just be kind to yourself for the next 60 minutes or so. You know, you're going to be tempted to get onto your phone and check Facebook and get into conversations with the people around you, and maybe, you know, send a WhatsApp and an email. You know, that will distract you, and I'm going to encourage you to not do that. The next 60 minutes may very well change the course of your professional life, and in fact change the rest of your life because of the financial opportunity this does present to you. And I'm not exaggerating. That's how big this opportunity is. Just be kind to yourself. Give yourself this time to immerse yourself in what you're going to see. The second thing is I want to encourage you to do your research afterwards. If this is as good as I'm going to claim that it is, and as many other people have decided that it is, in fact, 43,000 of us, the research will bear that out. Don't be afraid to do research. I'm going to send you an email after today's webinar. The system actually triggers it on automatically, and it's going to send it to the email address that you used when you logged into the webinar. In that email, I've put in about 5 resources for you to go and do further homework. And some of them were resources that I looked at when I was shown this a year ago in order to do my homework. I took a long time. It took me about a year before I decided to make the shift across and to throw my weight behind this company. And one of the resources, the slide on the screen here, was a video by a guy called Gene Frederick. Gene Frederick, interesting guy. He was the financial director of a major U.S. corporation called Texas Instruments, and as a chartered accountant, he's like a bit of a bean counter. He's very analytical, but also a very gifted businessman. When he left corporate life, he went into real estate and became very, very successful as a real estate leader in America. He was very well known publicly, which is why Glenn Sanford actually approached him early on. So at the time, Gene owned 5 of the top Keller Williams franchises in America. He owned Keller Williams for the whole of Hawaii. He owned Keller Williams in Cupertino, which is where Apple's head offices are, and 3 others. And then he also owned the Northern California region for Keller Williams. And Glenn Sanford approached Gene because he was a well-known public figure in real estate, and he said, I want to show you something. So now remember, Glenn is this like tech sort of genius, this geeky guy, and he shows Gene, this major leader, charismatic sort of guy. And I'll always laugh at the story because Gene said and this is Gene's own words in another presentation I've heard him give, he said when Glenn showed him the model that you're going to see today, he said 2 things to Glenn. The first one was, Glenn, you need to find someone else to present this. I've always thought that's so funny because Glenn's this like full-on geeky guy. And so Gene said, listen, man, you need to find someone else to present this. And then he said, the second thing I want to say to you, Glenn, is you've just invented the Netflix of real estate. This thing is going to put the DVD industry out of business, using the Netflix analogy. It's a complete paradigm shift, and the industry as we know it will never be the same again. And Gene was so convinced of that after seeing what Glenn had showed him, he sold all 5 of his Keller Williams franchises and he moved his team across. And today, I mean, the rest is history. He's got one of the biggest eXp businesses in the world. And in that presentation, so there's a YouTube link in the email I'm going to send you to the Gene Frederick talk. And it was one of the talks that really made a big impact on me because, man, if a guy like Gene Frederick is getting excited by eXp, it's worth just stopping and listening. And in that talk, he's very level-headed, and he just explains why this is such an incredible opportunity and why it is the future of real estate. So I encourage you, go and watch that video. Go through some of the other resources that I will email you. Do your homework. Then thirdly, base your decision on the first 3 pillars. Now, that's going to make more sense once you've watched the little video by Brent Gove. But as you're going to see, there are 4 pillars of benefit to you in the eXp model. And I'm going to encourage you, assess the opportunity based on the first 3. If you, as an estate agent or as a team leader or as a principal, if you think, okay, those 3 pillars make sense to me as an agent, they are a compelling offering, then the 4th pillar is a no-brainer. And that's, as you're going to see, is a revenue sharing model whereby if you invite other agents to check out eXp and they are as excited as you are and they join, you will get a percentage of the revenue that they generate. And that can become highly lucrative. But this is not why you join eXp. Make a decision about the model itself, because then when you speak to someone else about it, you're doing it out of a place of integrity. You genuinely believe that this is a great place to work as an estate agent. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Right, next slide. I just want to tell you a little bit about Brent Gove, and then I'm going to play a video by him. It's about a 25-minute video where he, in which he explains the model of eXp. Okay, so at the end of Brent's presentation, I will get up again and I'm going to correct a couple of the numbers that he uses, because since he made this presentation for us, and he did this specifically for our group, and I'm grateful to Brent for doing that, but the revenue share numbers have been adjusted since he did this. So I'm going to need to just correct a couple of things. I will recap some of the things that he said, and then we will end it for the day. But why do I want to show you a video by an American guy, Brent Gove, to explain the model? Here's why. Brent won't tell you this in the video, but I'll tell you because I know him personally. He was the top-selling RE/MAX agent in America. Now, you don't become the top-selling RE/MAX agent in America by being an idiot. This is a very successful estate agent. He built a $100 million team with RE/MAX. He then moved that team across to Keller Williams in 2008 after being with RE/MAX for 12 years. This is not a guy who bounced around. In 2008, with the global economic crisis, and there was chaos in the American property market, he moved across to Keller Williams because he said, look, it's a crazy time. Let me go and join Keller Williams and see if it's all it's cracked up to be. And he says he loved his time at Keller Williams. He says it was a great company to work with. The training was great, etc. But the revenue sharing model that they presented actually never really did much for him. And in the light of what he now knows with eXp, just said eXp is a completely different animal altogether. So what happened was, after 8 years at Keller Williams, he's got a $100 million real estate team. He's got like buyer's agents and listing specialists and whatever working for him. He gets approached by a lady named Sheila Fejerin, who's also become a good friend of mine and an amazing lady. Also a very successful real estate agent in her own right. And she said to him, Brent, I want you to take a look at something with me. It's a new model in real estate, company called eXp, and I want you to just have a look at it. And Brent said, like, kind of almost like, okay, I'll have a look at it for you, Sheila. He said, within 20 minutes of seeing what he is now going to explain to you, he knew he had to move. That's how compelling it was. And he joined about 5 years ago now, and he has become the poster boy for eXp. He has built a business of over 18,000 agents. And he's just a phenomenal success story. So Brent is now going to explain to you what the eXp model is. What is this company all about, and why is it a compelling move that you can make? We're going to watch that, and then I'll jump up afterwards and wrap it up for us. So enjoy the little video, and we'll see you after that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brent Gove, and of course, I'm here to talk to you about eXp South Africa. Everyone's so excited, and we are thrilled to have you with us today. Now, before I get going on the model and eXp and what's happening with the fastest growing real estate model the world has ever seen, I want to talk to you a little bit about my background. I promise to be super fast. I've been in real estate for 24 years. My first 12 years were at RE/MAX. Then I spent 8 years at Keller Williams. And honestly, I loved both companies, had a very positive experience. And then 4 years ago, got a friend of mine who asked me to take a look at this new model for real estate, eXp Realty. Back then, it was a small company with 1,200 agents. Today, we're a $4 billion company, shattering all the records of our predecessors, RE/MAX and Keller Williams, cutting their growth rates in half. So what is it everyone's so excited about? Well, let's get started. Welcome to eXp South Africa. Now, eXp was founded by a Canadian, Glenn Sanford. Everyone loves Canadians, and Glenn is one of those special people. He created a company that nobody else created. He was like an Elon Musk, a Richard Branson, a Steve Jobs. Every once in a while, that kind of a special human being comes along and can just not only conceptualize an idea, but execute on that idea. And of course, Glenn did, and enter eXp. Now, what he did is he came up with a cloud-based brokerage, and we're launching it here in South Africa after great success in many other markets worldwide. Today, of course, we're a $4 billion company. So what is eXp all about? Well, of course, we're about selling real estate. And we have our main broker for the country of South Africa, Mr. Andrew Thompson. Amazing. Our regional finance manager, Mark Luker, he's an amazing guy as well, and a bunch of wonderful support folks helping you launch here in South Africa. Now, I won't kid you, we're pioneering at this time. You're part of the beginning, but there are great rewards for people who are first to market. In fact, let's talk about that. Netflix was first to market, and they dislodged a $5 billion, 800-pound gorilla called Blockbuster. We all went to Blockbuster. I'm sure you did too. And now we just point and click, get what we want through Netflix. Look at Amazon. There was a period where it's like, oh, they'll never make it. They're not sustainable. Now they're the largest employer in the world, the most successful company the world has ever seen. Even Tony, and this is what eXp is in this cloud-based space. And then we got eXp going up against traditional brokerages. But even Tony Robbins noticed, and there's Tony right there, that the Hilton Corporation, having been around for over 100 years and creating an $18 billion valuation, here comes Airbnb. In fact, I love the name Airbnb. It's been around for only 10 years, valued at $31 billion. And they don't even own a building. It's incredible. And so what is eXp? What is this cloud campus environment? It's like any university. It's like any college campus. It's a place that houses hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of eXp staff, technology departments, accounting, brokerage operations, marketing, everything you need for a real estate company, but it's in the cloud. And the agents don't have to pay desk fees. You can work from anywhere. And we choose to work with Regus. The whole office hub, open space, being collaborative is the rage worldwide. Now, next, what eXp is doing is we're a tech company. We're bringing tech tools that are amazing, cutting edge. One of our tech tools, a CRM, a cutting edge contact relationship manager, a retention tool to help you keep track of your clients, to do prospecting and lead tracking and template brochures and emails and calendars and tasks, and it's state of the art. You're going to love it. Can't wait to show that more to you. It's one of the things we bring. Now, the other thing eXp is huge on is learning. We are a learning-based company. We believe in being a student of life. You want to make it big in real estate? One of the reasons I became very successful, one of the top agents at RE/MAX and Keller Williams, because I'm learning-based. I'm a student. I'm always asking questions. And we believe so strongly that we created eXp University. And in the university, we have cloud classes. We have anywhere from at least 20 live hours a week, sometimes 30, 40 live hours a week of content. You literally can raise your hand and interrupt the instructor and say, hey, I have a question. Now he or she may say, hey, we're going to hold all questions to the end of class today, but it is truly a university with over 20 live, not recorded, the live hours. You can stick around after class, ask the questions to the instructor about how do I get more listings? How do I get more buyers? How do I get more buyers into contract? How do I do social media marketing? How do I do contracts? I have questions about disclosure. Whatever it is, we have it all there in the cloud. It's in the cloud and it's live in person. Here's an example of one we recently did. We had about 500 people in the room. This particular event, it was all about lead generation and using technology to capture buyer and seller leads. Here's another one we did. If you look to the left, there's a panel up there of top superstars from RE/MAX and Keller Williams and Coldwell Banker and Independence. All those people sell hundreds of homes a year each. They all just joined eXp Realty. So we put them up on a panel and said, why? And what do you see the value is in this company? Now, a little bit about eXp World Holdings. Essentially, our eXp World Holdings owns mortgage companies, title companies, real estate companies, home warranty companies, on all the ancillary services. So that they give out what we call equity opportunities. In other words, you get to own a piece of the company you work at. You got to understand that's a big deal. I worked at RE/MAX for 12 years and had nothing to show for it. Most of the agents walk out there with no equity. It's like a buyer. We say, please buy a home. Get some equity for yourself, some self-respect. And then the people who rent a home for 20 years were like, shake our heads. Yet I did that. I spent 20 years 12 years at RE/MAX, 8 years at Keller Williams, and I had no equity. So at eXp, we're going to give you what we call equity awards. When you close your first home and it records, you're going to get an equity award, stock award. When you cap at eXp, and we'll go over the cap a little bit, you're going to get more stock in our company. When you refer an agent to eXp, you enroll an agent, you tell them how much you like it, and they join, you get more stock. In fact, the more people you tell about eXp, the more stock and equity you get. I spent 20 years at RE/MAX and Keller Williams, referred hundreds of people to both companies, and didn't have a whole lot to show for it. So eXp, they monetize that. They think that's valuable. Finally, you have an agent equity program where you could take 5% of your commission. Now, this is optional. You don't have to do it. But 5% of your commission, and you can purchase our stock at a 10% discount. Now, I started doing this 4 years ago, and the stock was $2.90 a share. Today, it was trading at $58 a share. Back then, the company wasn't even worth $100 million. Today, it's worth over $4 billion market cap. They called me crazy. Now, they call me for advice. And so I tell you what, it's scary when you do something new and this and that, but let me tell you what, eXp makes sense by the numbers. So let's get into some more numbers. We have what we call an icon award. And this is where our cap at eXp is 150,000 Rand. And so once you pay in 150,000 Rand to eXp, you go to a 100% split. The split is 75-25, just like everybody else. But once you pay in 150,000 Rand, we move you to a 100% split. Pretty cool. And check this out. When you cap and you earn 5 million Rand, which in a lot of areas means you're selling approximately 33 homes a year if you do the math. Now, if you're in an outlying area where home prices are low, you'll have to sell more. If you're in a very high-end area, it may be less. But if you have an annual gross commission income of 5 million Rand and you cap it, of course you're going to cap, you're going to actually earn your cap back in the form of stock. We give you 150,000 Rand worth of stock. Pretty cool. So what did it really cost you to be eXp? Not much. It's pretty cool. Now, the next thing is we do revenue sharing. And this is what sets our company apart. Now, for years, I had friends working at Century 21, other friends working at Better Homes, Sotheby's, Christie's, Coldwell Banker, RE/MAX, and people would refer people and they wouldn't earn anything. And all the revenue would go to those international multi-billion-dollar real estate corporations and they would keep all the money. Well, at eXp South Africa, if you look at the scale here, tier 1 at the top, if you refer one person, the dollar amounts in the middle there, that middle dollar amounts, if you add up, those amounts, they add up to 150,000 Rand. So what our founder did, Glenn Sanford, is he broke them up into bite-sized rewards. You refer one person, you get 26,250 Rand. It's pretty cool. And someone asked me, or am I limited to that? I go, no, you can refer 10. And if that person was a capping agent and they paid in 150,000 Rand to the company, that's why it says up to, then you will receive 26,250. What happens if they only do half a cap, like 75,000 Rand? Then you get half of 26,250. Or if they do a quarter cap, like a quarter of 150,000 Rand, then you get a quarter of the reward, 26,250. The way it works is every month there's a closing. On the following month, the 22nd, eXp pays out what we call revenue share. eXp South Africa. It's very exciting. So now everyone they tell, that's what's called tier 2. And anyone they tell, you get 30,000 Rand. Now the way you qualify is in the right-hand column, you must refer 5 agents who sell at least 1 home every 6 months in South Africa, 5 agents who sell 2 homes a year, 1 home every 6 months. Kind of a low standard, but it's a standard. So if you refer 5 agents who sell at least 1 home every 6 months, then it'll unlock tier 2. If you refer 10 people to eXp South Africa, it'll unlock tier 3, 15, 20, 25. It grows in increments of 5 until you get to tier 6. That unlocks tier after tier after tier. Then there's a jump of 15 to 40 to unlock tier 7. But tier 7 pays 37,500 Rand per agent on that tier, unlimited, as it is on every tier. Pretty awesome. So let me kind of show you how this works. Here we go. Let me give you a 5-year example or a 5-year possibility. By the way, I did what you're going to see in 6 months. Doesn't have to take 5 years, but I'm going to be conservative. It says it takes you 5 years. So if you look at the example here, let's say that you tell 10 agents this year. And remember, you're getting 26,200. Look at the top of the scale there. Tier 1 at the top, 26,250 Rand. So if you tell 10 people, and you multiply that times 26,250 Rand, you get 262,500 in Rand every year. And if those 10 people stay with eXp South Africa next year, you get it again. And if they stay a third and a fourth and a fifth year, you get it a third and a fourth and a fifth year. This is like you selling homes 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago and you're still getting paid today. Now, we all know that's not going to work. You're paid to produce escrows. You put buyers in escrow. You put sellers in escrow. You get paid. It's over. You have to continue to rinse, wash, and repeat. You have to continue the process. Not here, because you now own a company with eXp South Africa. So if you tell 10, you're getting 26,250 Rand per person a year if they're a capping agent. So make sure that they're an agent who sells real estate. Obviously, if you started a company and you tell 10 people who don't sell it all, you would get nothing, and you'll also get nothing in eXp. You need agents who sell real estate. Again, capping agents are ideal, but it can be less. Now, let's say you help those 10 agents tell 10, and in the next 5 years. So you tell 10 this year, then they each tell 2 people a year for 5 years. 2 times 5 is 10. So if they all did that, you'd have 10 agents who told 10. That would be 100 agents on tier 2. Now, again, I told 10 in the first 2 weeks, and they all told 10 within 6 months. So I did this 5-year example in 6 months. It does not have to take 5 years. But what's wrong if it took 5 years? Because look at this. If you have 100 people on tier 2 who are cappers, how much do you get per person? 30,000 Rand a year per person. So when you multiply that times 100, that's 3 million Rand a year, plus your 262,500 Rand for the people you personally told. That's a total of 3,262,500 a year, and you get it each year as long as those people stay with the company. Well, guess what? The next year, mine quadrupled, almost grew 5 times. So that number grew accordingly. Now, this is just with you telling 10 agents. What if you told 20? What if you told 30? What if you told 40? What if you told 80? If you and I were to start a real estate company together, the first thing we would do is recruit agents. And if we had 4 or 5 agents, we'd be a little boutique company. And then 2 years later, we have 40 or 50 agents, we're a bigger boutique company. Maybe 2, 3, 4 years after that, we have 3, 4, 500 agents, we're no longer a boutique company. we're a company to be dealt with in, say, Johannesburg. You got 500 agents, you've kind of arrived. This is all that is. We're attracting agents to our company that are learning based, want to give back, and I'll talk about that, want to have a seat at the table of ownership. This is an agent-owned company, so to speak, through the stock. The more you sell, the more agents you refer, the more sales metrics you hit, the more stock you are constantly awarded to our company. If that sort of thing appeals to you, owning a piece of the company you work at, then welcome to eXp. Now, what I want to show you is our expansion. We're already in the United States, we're in Canada, we're in Australia and the UK. This year, like today as I'm making this, we are opening South Africa, like today, pretty exciting. And then we're also opening France and India, and we're opening Mexico and Portugal. Pretty exciting stuff. And you're just right there wherever you are in South Africa. But as you tell people in other parts of South Africa, they'll have friends in Canada. They'll have friends possibly in Portugal or France or India, Australia, the UK. And your business will grow out of South Africa. And you will be paid revenue share on home sales throughout the UK. I am throughout Australia. I am throughout South Africa. You get the idea. Now, we run the whole world. It's a cloud campus through Virbela. Virbela is one of the most successful companies online. Look them up. They're a Cinderella success company. When COVID-19 hit, eXp didn't blink. Like I said, they call you crazy, and then they call you for advice. Well, we have a world that houses hundreds and hundreds of employees, and we didn't pay any commercial leases. We didn't have to heat and cool it. We didn't have to insure it. No one's going to trip. There's no trip hazard in a virtual world. We didn't have to add coffee, janitorial. We didn't have to do TIs, tenant improvements. We didn't have to buy furniture. We didn't have to sign copier leases or computer leases or phone system leases. Need I go on? Staff it with employees. This is a beautiful world, and the overhead is very low. That's why we could share revenues. Is it working? We went from zero to a $4 billion market cap in 10 years. It's working, and you get to be a part of it. Super excited. We also have Facebook groups that called Workplace in Facebook, and you could post new listings. Buyers need a property here, there. Super collaborative. You will absolutely love it. This is proved to be a great success. And everyone's like, well, what kind of marketing does eXp have? The same kind of marketing your current company has. Beautiful brochures for your listings, wonderful business cards and digital flyers, as you could see. Just great stuff. You're going to love it. Bottom line, join the company everyone's talking about, the Amazon of real estate. We have arrived. That's what we're being called, So what kind of growth? Well, it was 1,300 agents or 1,288 agents about 4 years ago. Today, it is over 36,000 agents. It is exciting what's happening. Now, we got to 36,000 agents without missing a beat, and we've hit $4 billion, and we're highly profit, what's called net profitability. Wall Street, the different stock markets worldwide love us. Wait till we hit 100,000 in the next year and a half, 2-3 years. When we have 100,000 agents, economy scales kick in even more. Profitability goes through the roof. And then the stock, well, it'll do what you might expect it to do. I'm not going to say what it's going to do, but I've just watched it grow from $2.90 a share to $8 a share. People are like, do you think it'll ever reach 20? Today, we're trading at $58 a share. And you go, do you think it'll ever reach? I think it's going to be pretty awesome, and I'm so excited to be a part of this company. Almost every other day I get a text from somebody saying, I just became a millionaire through the EXPI stock. Not unusual at all, but the company's been around for 10 years, not 10 weeks or 10 months. Now, it's brand new to South Africa, and again, being first to market is a big deal. Uber was first to market. They were uber successful. Travelocity and the online, your travel agents are gone. They've been replaced by online. You buy your airfare online, your hotels, your rental cars. Being first to market, Facebook, Google, Apple, this is a big deal. And now you get to be a part of this because it's in real estate. Now, here's our eXp South Africa model explained. So the bottom line is it's 800 Rand to join one time. It's a one-time fee, 800 Rand to become a part of our company. Then the monthly fees are 800 Rand every month, okay? It's not free to work here. We have expenses, but it's very reasonable, very affordable. Our split is a 75-25 split, just like every top-notch superstar company throughout South Africa. Again, the cap is 150,000 Rand and very reasonable cap. And then once you cap, you go to a 100% split. So it's 75-25 to you cap at 150,000 Rand paid in, and then you go to 100%. So if you do that in 6 months, you're at 100% split for the last 6 months of the year, and it resets every year. We did it, James, we did it our first month, 6 weeks, and they were at 100% for the rest of the year. Some of you do it very quick. Some of you, it may take you 9 months to cap, but you'll enjoy 3 months at 100%. Everything you close, you keep it all. That's a pretty good deal. We do have a 4% international fee that applies. We take 0.5% of that and we give back to our community here in South Africa for development, for schools, technology for children, sports, and getting involved in the community. We call that our social responsibility, to not just enrich ourselves and do well and prosper and do well in business, but to care about the community we live in. And so that's a really cool thing that eXp does with that 4% international fee. Finally, we have partners, we have third-party participation. Just to name a few, how about ENS Africa? How about PKF Octagon? How about Deloitte, Aon, Standard Bank? I won't read the whole list, but we have all the right partners, and we are super excited about the promise of what the future holds. Really cool. By the way, here's our founder, Glenn Sanford. He's on the stock exchange the day eXp joined the NASDAQ with Cisco, Apple, Intel, PepsiCo, joined the big boards. This was the day. There's our board of directors. And here he is hitting the closing button, shutting down the world financial markets worldwide. It's an honor they give to companies that join the NASDAQ. We're one of the hottest stocks on the NASDAQ today. Very exciting. So as I wrap up today, it's our final slide. I just want to tell you this. eXp South Africa is making history. I mean, you get to be a part of this. It's a big deal. I am so glad that 4 years ago, I had the courage to go, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. I left Keller Williams, a well-known factor, and joined eXp because I wanted to own a piece of the company I worked at. Today, I've seen it change hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lives of my friends and colleagues in a positive way I can't even tell you. It's just been so powerful. So really encourage you to join, to be a part, to join this movement, to be a part of a company that is agent-owned, agent-centric. Everyone says they're agent-centric, but how many of them do the agents actually own a piece of the company they work through the stock? So what I want you to do is to go to expsouthafrica.co.za/join, and I want you to apply. You're just applying. It will not move you to eXp, but they'll give you an independent contractors agreement, and it starts the process. But apply and get approved to join, and then when you're ready to join, you could join. But get this part out of the way. It's a part of your due diligence. Also, I want you to do a beta test. I want you to take what you just saw. I want you to share it with your best friend in real estate, 1 or 2 or 3 of them. As a Keller Williams agent, I did 8 of them. I called it the Save Me beta test. I had 8 people watch what you just saw, version very close to that. And guess what? All of them sold franchises, quit full-time jobs as regional managers for Remax, general managers for Berkshire Hathaway, sold multiple franchises, big star agents, every single one of them, 8 for 8, joined me at eXp because I asked them to look at the model, what you just saw, and say, what am I missing? Because who wouldn't want to own your own company? Who wouldn't want stock awards? Who wouldn't want a competitive cap at 100% split? Who wouldn't want all the wonderful benefits that eXp offers? The revenue sharing is crazy today. So take the time, share this with a few people, do what's called a beta test. Go, I want to know what you think. Would you look at the model? It's a new model for real estate. What do you think? And see what they say. I'm so glad I did it, and I would encourage you to do the same. Have a great day, everyone. I look forward to meeting you in one of our next South African meetings for eXp. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, Brent. Hopefully that made sense, and I will recap a couple of the things that I think could be confusing there or just overwhelming because a lot of information. First of all, the eXp South Africa team, led by Andrew Thompson, who is the principal of the company. If you're a principal and you'd be interested in moving a whole team across, there are structures which make that transition easier for you, and we can get into those discussions at a different point. But if you're just an individual agent, you're wanting to come across, Andrew would be your principal, and he's a great guy, leads the company well, very accessible. And then there's a team that work around him to support them, administrative staff, transactional specialists, onboarding specialists, etc. And you'll meet all of these wonderful people as you join. Okay, so there are 4 disruptive pillars, as Brent was talking about it. And I've said to you at the beginning of today that you must base your decision on the first 3 pillars. Is this a compelling model for you to move across as an agent? Okay, so what are those 4 pillars? Number 1, a phenomenal technology platform that you get to build your business on. The other 3, I'll just tell you them so they're in your mind, and then we'll go through them in a little bit of detail. So it's the technology platform. Secondly, world-class training, which no other company in the world can compete with. Thirdly, equity awards. So you have the opportunity of becoming a shareholder in the company just for doing what you're already doing as an estate agent. And then the 4th pillar is the sharing of revenues that eXp does with the agents that help grow the company. Okay, so number 1, a phenomenal technology platform. If you, by the way, own your own business and you've got a brand that you don't want to lose, let's say I run a business, Steve Johnstone Real Estate, and I love my little logo and I love the colors and all of that. You don't have to rebrand when you move your business to eXp. You just become powered by eXp. You can keep your logos, keep your brand, etc. But of course, if you don't have a brand, you come across and you'll just be branded as an eXp agent, which makes sense because I think eXp is going to become one of the dominant brands, if not the dominant real estate brand in this country, as is happening around the world. Okay, so as part of this platform that you build your business on, what do you get? Well, 800 Rand to join. So don't get confused. The 150,000 Rand I'm going to talk about now, which is your cap, is not a fee that you pay. It's only 800 Rand to join eXp, and then there's a monthly fee of 800 Rand a month. That's what you pay. There's no hidden fees. Everything I'm going to talk about is included in that 800 Rand. You are on a 75-25 split with eXp South Africa, plus a 4% transaction fee, they call it, that goes to eXp International. So essentially, you will keep 71% of your commissions until you cap. After you cap, and this is within a 12-month period, for the rest of that 12-month period, you keep 96% of your commissions because you keep paying the 4%, but you don't pay eXp South Africa anymore after you cap. So what is the cap and how does that work? Well, starting on your anniversary date each year, which is the date you join eXp, you start doing transactions as an estate agent, you start earning commissions. You're paying 25% of those commissions into eXp South Africa. When you have paid in cumulatively on all these deals 150,000 Rand, which equates to gross commission of 600,000 Rand, right? Because if you've done 600 gross commission, 25% of that is paid into eXp South Africa, which is 150,000 Rand. At that point, you have capped. You now no longer need to pay eXp South Africa, and you now keep virtually all, 96% of all your commissions after that for that 12-month period. And then on your anniversary date again, the next year, it goes back to 0, and now you need to start paying that 25% in again. And that's wonderful. You know, with most franchise companies, when you pay in your 20%, 30%, 40%, 50% for agents who are on a 50-50 split, there's no cap to that. You just pay in 50%, 40% of your commissions all year round. They don't cap it. Whereas with eXp, the maximum you can pay in is 150,000. I think that's fantastic. Secondly, so what do you get for the 800 Rand a month? access to eXp World, the avatar world. You get access to all of the training and the administrative support and all of the stuff that you get in the avatar world. I'll show you an example of that just now. You obviously get your eXp email address, which gives you access then to all of the technology tools. You get a global website. So all the listings are listed on eXp South Africa's website, and then obviously accessible to all of the eXp international websites. On top of that, they syndicate using the listing management system that we get. They syndicate to private property and property 24. That is all included in your 800 Rand a month. I mean, I know small business owners that have come across and have said, you know, before I joined eXp, I was paying 5,000 Rand a month, 8,000 Rand a month or more just on my private property and my property 24 memberships with all the clicks and the leads and stuff you pay for. This is all included in 800 Rand a month. It's a phenomenal deal. This is what the economies of scale, when a global giant like eXp comes into a country, they can negotiate unbelievable deals that you can't get access to elsewhere. So you get access on all of those websites. You also get a one-page website of your own that the system generates that collates your listings. There's also a little bio on you, and you can use that for your social media marketing. You get a CRM system, obviously a listing management system called REP, and I'll show you a screenshot of that in a second. You get Lightstone membership, so valuations and deed searches, and then the social media links, the little electronic brochures that it produces, all of that great stuff. Okay. That's the listing management and CRM system that we get as eXp agents. It's called REP. On the one side, listing management and distribution, and we can get into the detail with you later. On the other side, a CRM system that collates all your leads, helps you manage your data, daily reminders on who you need to be contacting. It will do buyers matches. So you list a new buyer, and there's a wish list. It'll match that buyer with listings on your system, and then you can just, at the click of a button, produce a brochure with all of the listings that match that buyer's criteria. So all of the CRM stuff that is so important in your business. So we get state-of-the-art systems. What I want to do is show you quickly a little video, because I know when I talk about this avatar world and all the support you get there, it's a bit like, what are you talking about? So I'm going to show you a video of when I couldn't get my email address that you get when you join eXp. I couldn't get it working on my computer. So I took my little avatar and I went into the tech department in eXp World, and I took a little ticket. Within a minute, I was ushered in, and I was now seated in front of this guy, Landon Cox. So I'm going to play you the video so you get a feel for what it's like inside the avatar world. Yeah, that dude there, Landon Cox, he's the guy that's busy helping me. He didn't have the answer for my question, so he's gone to speak to his tech support manager there, Melissa. And he is going to walk back over here to our table at some point and hopefully answer my question. Oh, here he comes.
Okay, did a bit of digging around.
All right.
And it looks like the instructions we have that are for UK emails are the same for South African.
Okay, great.
So what I'll do is I'll give you the instructions for the setup in Outlook. And what email app are you using exactly?
Yeah, I'm on a Mac, so I'm using the Mail app on Mac.
Gotcha. So they're not instructions for the Mail app, but they have the port settings that you're going to need.
Okay, so I mean, it's just out there, but it is so effective. So the little document, he then emailed me a document with instructions, and it worked perfectly. Now my email address is working perfectly. So incredible world, incredible technology platform we get with all of the stuff that comes along with it. This is the workplace application. It's a Facebook app just for internal company referrals, and if you want to contact anyone, you can just do it on work chat. You download both of the apps for your phone, and this is an incredible place where you can load listings. You can join groups internationally. Let's say you've got a property you think would be a great investment. Go and find a group on Workplace that there's thousands and thousands of members on it that is called International Property Investment Group. There'll be a group on that. And then you can go and place your listings and chat to agents all around the world. So when you join eXp, you get access to a global marketplace in the fastest growing real estate company in the world. It really is a phenomenal, phenomenal business. And obviously, these are the templates. Brent did show you that for all your marketing materials. And we've got a company that we work with in Joburg. You order all your materials, boards, signage, all the stuff you need, business cards, little name tags, whatever you want, and it gets delivered to your door. Okay. Obviously, that's for your own account, okay? So you don't get that given to you. This is an entrepreneurial opportunity. You're an independent contractor when you join eXp. Okay, that's the first one, the platform. Second one, training. The training in eXp is so good. Why? Because we have a thing called eXp University. And the way that eXpU works is it's in the avatar world, and there's training facilities and auditoriums all over the campus, and for every country. So eXp South Africa has got its own auditorium where we do training, but there's training you can go to in America and in the UK and in India and wherever. Now, who does the training? Well, they source specialists to do the training, and on top of that, they have an incentive scheme, listen to this now, where the icon agents do a bunch of training in the world. Now, who are the icon agents? Well, every real estate company's kind of got its super duper double dipper, diamond, triple platinum club, like the top agents, you've all got that. Well, we've got the same. It's called the Icon Award. And in order to become an icon agent in South Africa, you've got to do 5 million Rand gross commission. So that's a fairly successful agent. Now, it's that level of agent all around the world that are the icon agents. Now, when you become an icon agent at eXp, listen to this. They take the 150,000 Rand that you would have paid in a long time ago in that 12 months. If you've done 5 million gross commission, you would have capped a long time ago and paid in your 150. They take that 150 and they give it back to you in the form of stock awards. So they give you 150,000 Rand in South Africa worth of eXp shares. But in order to get, I think it's 70,000 Rand of those shares given to you, you've got to do a certain number of hours training in the world. It's a very clever system. So they are incentivizing the top producing agents in the world to give back and to train the other agents. So for this reason, you could go into eXp University. They publish a schedule of upcoming training in every country on all the auditoriums. And you can just look through the upcoming schedule for the next few weeks and say, oh, there's something on social media marketing. I love that. There's something on negotiation skills. There's something on listing presentation skills. Okay, I think I'll go to those 3. And then at that time, some of them are in the evenings. If it's in America, it might be like 9 o'clock at night here. But so what? You climb into the world. You take your avatar. You go and take your seat in the auditorium. The auditoriums look a bit like that. You'll take your seat and you will enjoy the training live. You can, at the end of that course, you can put your microphone on. You can walk up to the speaker and you can say, hey, you made a point about this. What do you do about Facebook advertising? And you can interact with these people. This gives you global access to top trainers. And because of this avatar world, there is no company on the planet that can compete with the kind of training you get with eXp. Right? Not only that, everybody who joins my group in South Africa. Now, if you're on this webinar, even if you were invited by someone else, you will be a part of my group within eXp. All of my training gets given for you for free. So there's a package which is 15,000 Rand on my website, which includes membership of my Going Virtual mentorship program. You will immediately get enrolled on my mentorship program, and you will get access to my Successful Real Estate Agent course, which is the flagship training course that I have always sold, teaching agents how to work by referral. If you join my eXp group, all of that, you're immediately enrolled on it. So training, unbelievable, excellent training. Thirdly, this is the third pillar, the stock awards. Right, so eXp is listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange. When Brent shot that video for us, it's about 2 months ago now, the price of the shares was $58, and he was raving about it, and we were amazed that it had gone up to $58. The share price yesterday, just checking on my phone, $161. $161 yesterday. This share is going through the roof because they are expanding internationally, this company, and all the agents are getting stock awards, investing in shares. It's one team, one dream in this business. We all do well if everyone else does well because the stock price goes up. Now, how does that work? Well, there are a number of ways you get given shares as an eXp agent. This is not all of them, but I'm going to go through these so that you do understand them. When you make your first sale as an eXp agent, this is not every year, this is just the very first sale you make. They say, hey, congratulations for making your first sale. Now that you've joined eXp, here's 2,000 Rands worth of eXp shares. Okay, fantastic. I mean, did your company that you're at do that for you? Did they give you shareholding in the business for just doing your first sale? No, I think not. Then when you cap, now this one is an annual award. Every year that you cap, you've paid in your 150, you've done gross commission of 600,000, they give you 4,000 Rands worth of eXp shares. Now, if you do that for the next 10 years, let's say you're an agent for another 10 years, that's 40,000 Rand, 42 with the first 2,000, for just doing what you're already doing. And if the share price keeps doing what it's doing, that could have increased in multiples. So here's the point. You are building up an asset base for yourself, for your retirement, by doing what you're already doing. The next way of getting stock awards is if you sponsor an agent, so you attract another agent and they join eXp, they will go on your first tier. When they do their first deal, eXp give them 2,000 Rands worth of shares, and then they come to you and they say, because you introduced that person to us, we're going to give you 4,000 Rands worth of shares because they did their first deal. Congratulations. So over the next 5 years, if you set yourself a goal of just telling 25 other agents over the next 5 years, 25 agents join, they each do at least one deal, you'll get 100,000 Rands worth of eXp shares just because you introduced them. This is not even the revenue share. This is just stock awards they're giving you. Again, does your company do that for you? I don't think so. Right, then the last one is the revenue share model. Now, I just want to remind you, does that on its own, all the technology, the private property P24 syndication, Lightstone, all the software, the CRM systems, the listing management systems, the training, the stock awards, the competitive split, 71-29 until you cap, then you get 96%. That as a basket, is that a compelling, attractive place for you to work? If it is, then it is a no-brainer, and it is an ethical act of integrity with a clear conscience where you will now say to someone else that you know who's in the industry, hey, you need to take a look at this company because they offer an unbelievable deal for agents. And if you do that, you can now build up a passive income through the revenue share model. So how does the revenue share model work? I know Brent went over this, but it can be a bit overwhelming. So let me just give you the basics again. You're the agent in orange there, okay? You're going to introduce a friend of yours who works in your office, or if you're a principal of a company and you bring across a team of 5, 10, 15, 20 agents, you would immediately have 5, 10, or 15 people on your first tier. So you introduce one of them, his name is Joe. Joe is the white agent there. When Joe begins to work as an agent and do transactions, Joe is paying in 25% of his deals into eXp South Africa until he caps, right? Now, what eXp do is they take that 25% that they get paid, which is up to 150,000 Rand, and they pay it back into the network of agents. They don't keep it all, which is what every other franchise does. They get paid their 40%, their 50%, and they keep it. eXp don't keep it all. They pay it back to the agents that introduced that agent. Okay, so you can earn up to 21,000 Rand of that agent's commissions in a 12-month period. And every year that they're working as an agent, each year you will earn another up to 21,000 Rand if they cap. If they don't cap, if they only do half their cap, doesn't matter, you'll get half that. It's not all or nothing. Then if Joe introduces some other people, those people are then on your tier 2, right? You actually earn more on the revenue sharing on the tier 2 agents than you do on your tier 1 agents. You earn up to 24,000 Rand on each agent. So if there's 10 of them, you could earn up to 240,000 Rand a year just on your tier 2 agents. And so it goes down through the levels. So all the way down to 7 levels, you can earn revenue share on all those agents, and the numbers are on the right-hand side. Again, when we follow up with you afterwards, we can go through these in more detail. But in order to unlock each of those levels, this is an important detail, guys. You actually have to unlock each tier in order to earn the revenue share on it. Now, how do you unlock your tiers? Well, it depends on how many active agents you have personally enrolled. So when you have enrolled even just one person, then your first tier is unlocked. You will earn up to 21,000 Rand for each of the people on your first tier, no problem. But in order to unlock your second tier, you need 5 people personally enrolled. That's on your first tier who are active agents. They've got to do at least one deal every 6 months. Okay? And then you've unlocked your second tier. And then down the left-hand side, you will see how many personally enrolled agents you need in order to unlock each tier. And then you will see what the revenue sharing is. If you look down the right-hand side, you're going to see your 7th tier is actually your most profitable tier. You will earn up to 30,000 Rand per agent on your 7th tier. But in order to unlock that tier, you've got to have enrolled 40 agents personally into eXp. And maybe you want to set yourself a goal of doing that over the next 5 years or the next 10 years. You can do this over time while you're still working as an agent, building up a passive income. So to use Brent's example, if you were to enroll 10 people and each of them were to enroll 10, over the next 5 years, you would earn a passive income of 2.6 million Rand per year just on those first 2 tiers. Now, of course, it'll go through to your 3rd and 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th tier. You're not going to be able to stop it. It's going to grow. So I'll give you an indication of what I've done. We've been busy now for about 3 months. It's less than that, but let's just say 3 months. I've already enrolled, it's looking like it's 25. So say 24 people on my tier 1. So that's working on 10. I've done 24 in 3 months. What could you do? The numbers on this revenue share get phenomenal when you start looking at how it expands. And again, we can show you those numbers in more detail. In fact, in that email that you're going to get from me, one of the links is a video that I've shot with an Excel spreadsheet where I show you, it's like a 5-minute video. I just show you how that revenue share number can grow based on how many people you personally enroll. It is a fascinating little video. Go and watch that. Okay, guys, we're almost done. This is the international footprint as it is right now. If you know anybody in any of those countries, you can introduce them to eXp. They can join. You will be their sponsor. There's no borders. You can sponsor anyone as long as eXp operate in that country. And then you will get the euro revenue share or the dollar revenue share based on whatever country they're in. And then they translate it back into South African rands on the 22nd of each month, and they pay you out. So you can truly build a global team and a global business through eXp. It's very exciting. Okay, what are your next steps? And then we're going to close it off for the day. Number 1, please get together with the person who invited you today. That is your next step once you've gone through some of those resources. And in fact, that's the second thing I'm going to recommend you do is go through the email that I get you. Go and watch that Gene Frederick video. It'll help you. It'll really help you get the information you need to make the right decision for you. Once you've gone through that information, I would suggest that within the next day or 2 or 3 at the most, get back together with the person who invited you. Now, just a word on that. We're not in the business of chasing people around. That's not what this is. I'm not trying to sell you some Kirby vacuum cleaner that you don't really need. Our only desire is to give you the information you need so that you can make a wise decision for yourself, for your family, for your future. But if you are interested, at least, if this has intrigued you and you would like to find out more, don't play hard to get. Please, just send us a WhatsApp. If you're one of my guests, can I encourage you? Send me a WhatsApp. and say to me, hey, Stephen, thanks for inviting me today, but you know what? This is not for me. I'm not interested. No problem. That's fine. Just clear communication is all we ask for. But if you are interested, send me a WhatsApp and say, yeah, this looks interesting. I'd like to find out more. Let's get together. Please, let's make time within the next 2-3 days to get together on like a Google Meet call or a Zoom call, and we can talk further and then go through the resources. And then thirdly, invite someone to join you next Wednesday. So I do this Model Explained webinar every single Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And the link to get into the webinar that you can then email to other people is always the same. It's the same link that you clicked this morning to get in on this webinar. Okay, so what Brent calls this in his video, it's quite a funny term. He says he calls this the Save Me beta test. So, like, save me. I'm getting excited about something here, but I want your opinion. What's it about? Explain it to me. Listen, it's like giving you a haircut over the phone. I can't explain this thing over the phone. Just trust me, attend a webinar with me on Wednesday morning next week, and I'd love your opinion because I think it's awesome, but maybe I'm missing something. It's a really easy way to invite, like make a list of the 10 people that you are closest with in the real estate industry and do the Save Me beta test on them. Invite them to join you next week. If I can give you a hint, don't try to explain this to them or get into answering questions over the phone because it's just going to sound like a pyramid scheme. This is not a pyramid scheme, okay? This is a legitimate revenue sharing model, but it does need to be explained intelligently. So don't get into it. Just say, look, trust me for now. Come, I'll email you the link. Join me next week. Yeah, that's a very good piece of advice from Brent. And then lastly, as part of your due diligence, I would recommend that you fill in the first page of that join application. That's on the eXp South Africa website, /join. That link will be in the email you get from me. On that page, there's a button on the left that says Become an Agent. Click that. There's a little terms and conditions thing. You just tick the checkbox. Okay, I'm ready. Go for it. Then there's a little form that you fill in. You've got to put your FFC number in there, your name, your details, your email address. And what that does is it applies to eXp. They respond automatic with an email. Two, actually, one's a welcome email. The second one has a link to the contract in it. Okay. Now, until you have signed the contract, you're not joining eXp. You haven't moved. Don't worry about that. But I'm going to recommend you go and fill in the form and get access to the contract and read through the contract. You're going to need a long cup of coffee because it's about a 40-page document. But that's part of your due diligence. You don't want to sign something you haven't read. So go and fill in the first part of the join app. Get access to the contract. Okay, that's it from me, guys. Those are your next steps. I look forward to chatting to those of you who were my personal guests on today. If you were invited by someone else, get in touch with them after today and have a good chat. Just have a good open discussion about this. And we look forward to taking this journey together with you if you do decide to join. We're building an amazing team. Hey? We've got already in my group about 40 people frontline and then downline in the various tiers. About 40 people, many of whom are top agents in South Africa. We've got a WhatsApp group that we're all getting to know each other. I do a family time webinar. That's actually this afternoon at 4 o'clock, every second Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So we're building a team. We're going on an incredibly exciting journey together, and we would love to have you if you want to join us, if you believe it's going to be good for you. So God bless you, and hope to see you soon. Cheers for now.